Okay, this is graphing linear equations using a table and rearranging equations, which is your concept number 16. So the first part of this is just simply rearranging equations. Okay? That means that we're going to solve the equations for y. So these first two slides are simply rearranging, and then we're going to get into the graphing examples down below. So step number one, when you are rearranging, your first goal is to get rid of the terms that do not have a y. Okay, so you need to move those to the other side of the equation by either adding or subtracting them. Okay? So if you look at this initial equation, we have 3x plus y equals 2. So currently this equation is in what we call standard form, and that's of the form ax plus by equals c. Okay, now this is just the generic form of this. So this a is actually going to be a number, this b is going to be a number, and this c value is going to be a number. Okay, now to be in standard form, a and b are not allowed to be zeros, because if they were zeros, it would just cancel out that entire term. So standard form is ax plus by equals c, which is what we have here. We have 3x plus 1y equals 2. So my a value is really that 3, my b value is really the 1 that's connected to the y, and then my c value is a 2. So I want to switch this from standard form into what we call slope-intercept form, so y equals mx plus b, right, which we'll learn about later. So first goal, get rid of the terms that do not have a y with them. Okay, because my goal here is that I want to solve this equation for y. So I want to get this y completely by itself. So the piece on this same side that doesn't have a y, I have to get rid of first. This was a positive 3x, so I need to subtract 3x to the other side. That gives me y equals 2 minus 3x. Okay? I cannot combine those terms. Okay? You cannot do 2 minus 3 here. This 3 has an x with it. This 2 is just a constant. They are not like terms. You cannot combine them. You just simply write them out next to each other. 2 and then minus 3x. Okay. Now, when you are rearranging, you should put the x term first instead of this constant. So we're just going to rearrange this right-hand side. Okay. So it's still going to be y equals. Now my negative 3x comes first, and then my positive 2. So be careful with the sign. Remember that the sign in front of a value is connected to it. It's attached. So this is a negative 3x, and then this is a positive 2, so that becomes plus 2. That is your final answer. Okay, so all I did was rearrange this equation so that this y term was by itself. I want to isolate that y value. All right, we have 3 more examples over here. So in blue, example number B, we have 5x minus y equals negative 6. So my goal is to get this y by itself. I first need to move the piece that does not have a y with it. So I need to subtract this 5x, to the other side. It was a positive 5x, so if I'm going to move it, I need to subtract 5x. Those 5x's cancel. You have to bring down the negative y. Remember that the sign in front of a value is attached to it, so that negative has to come with it. So it's a negative y equals, I cannot combine these. Negative 6 and 5x are not like terms. This is a constant. This has a variable with it. They are not like terms, so you simply write it out. Negative 6 minus 5x. You just copy it straight down. Now, because this was a negative y, you have one additional step. I need to solve for positive y. So this is really a negative 1 in front of there. To undo that, you divide both sides by a negative 1. Okay, when you divide here, that's going to change it to a positive y. On your right-hand side, you have to make sure that you are dividing each one of these terms by the negative 1. So the negative 6 divided by negative 1 becomes a positive 6. The negative 5x divided by a negative 1 becomes a positive 5x. Okay. Now again, this could be your final answer, but you want to write it with the x term coming first. So we're just going to flip-flop these around. Okay, so it's still y equals. My 5x comes first, then my plus 6. Okay, so y equals 5x plus 6 is your final answer. You know that you're done because this y is completely by itself. That was your goal. All right, let's look at the example here in green. So part C, we have 3y plus 4x equals 12. Okay, this one has a little bit more to it, but it's still the same initial step. You want this y to be by itself, so you have to first start with the term that does not have a y with it. So this 4x is what needs to move first. So it was a positive 4x. I'm subtracting it to the other side. Bring down your 3y equals, again, these are not like terms, so you just simply write out 12 minus 4x. Now, because there's a 3 connected to the y, you have one more step here where you have to divide both sides by a 3. So you bring down your y equals. Now again, every term on this other side has to get divided by that 3. So the 12 divided by 3 gives you a 4. 4x, a negative 4x divided by 3 just becomes a negative 4/3 x. Keep that as a fraction. We do not want you to change these to decimals. If it's a fraction, leave it as a fraction. Okay, so 4 divided by 3 just becomes 4/3. Okay. Now, again, we do want to switch this around so that my variable comes first. Remember that the sign in front of a number is attached to it. So this is a negative 4/3 x. And then this is a positive 4, so plus 4. So your final answer is y equals negative 4/3 x plus 4. All right, last example here of rearranging. So I have 1x minus 3y equals 7. Again, your first step is to move the term that does not have the y with it. So I have to first start by moving this 1x. It was a positive, so I need to subtract 1x to the other side. Bring down your negative 3y equals 7 minus x. Again, those are not like terms. You cannot combine them. Just write it out how it is. Now divide both sides by that negative 3. So you carry down your y equals. Okay, again, this is going to be a fraction. It doesn't divide evenly. That's okay. Leave it as a fraction. So this becomes a negative 7/3. Then you have negative x divided by a negative 3. So this is really a negative 1 in front of that x. So a negative 1 divided by a negative 3 becomes a positive 3. A negative divided by a negative is a positive x over 3. So just be very careful with your signs. Negative divided by another negative is a positive. Now, you do want to rearrange this so that your x term comes first. One note that we did here was x over 3 is the same thing as 1/3 times x. Okay, those are the same exact thing. There's really a 1 in front of that x. Okay, so if you separate it, it's a 1 divided by 3, and then move your x to the outside of the fraction. So those are the same thing. So when I rearrange this, I made it y equals 1/3 x, and then minus your 7/3. All right, let's look at some examples of graphing then. You're still going to have to do this rearranging that we just went over. So I want to graph the equation of negative 2x plus y equals negative 3. So right now my equation is in standard form. ax plus by equals c. So it's currently in standard form. In order to graph it, you need to rearrange it so that the y is by itself. Okay, so your first step is what we just went over. Rearrange the equation and solve for y. So you start by taking this negative 2x and adding it to the other side. Bring down your y. So it's y equals 2x minus 3, because again, I want the x term to come first. Okay, and it was a negative 3, so 2x minus 3. They're not like terms. You just write them side by side. Step 2 then, once you've done that rearranging, you're going to make yourself a table. Okay, so you need x values and you need y values. Okay, you will have to draw these tables. They won't always be given to you. Okay, so you can draw it horizontally like this. If you want to, you can draw it vertically. And it saves a lot of space if you do it horizontally like we have here. Right? So you choose x values. When you make a table, you choose these top x values. Okay, now we will always suggest to use -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. So these x values should always be the same. Okay, you're choosing those x values, but you should be using these 5 that we're using here. You take those x values that you just chose and you plug them, each of them, into that new equation that you made. So when I take a -2, the x value that I chose, and I plug it in for x, 2 times a -2 is a -4, minus 3 gives me a -7, so that's my y value. Right, then I do the same thing for -1. Plug it in. 2 times -1 is a -2, minus 3 is a -5. That's my y value. So you continue that pattern and you plug them in. Okay, those are the points that you are going to plot. Now these values, okay, it should be a pattern. Okay, if you notice, your y values are increasing by 2. Okay. When you get your y value answers, you should be able to notice a pattern in them. Okay. That's how you know that it's a linear equation. Now that we have these points, we're just going to plot them. This is your x comma y. This is your coordinate pair. So -2 to the left 2, -7 means you go down 7 and plot that point. -1, 5, so you go to the left 5, down 5. 0, 3, you stay at the origin and you go down 3. Okay? +1, 1 means you go to the right 1 and down 1. 2, 1 means you go to the right 2 and up 1. Okay? So you plot all of those points. And then step number 4 is using a ruler, so you need to make sure you're using a ruler, connect those points. Okay? You want to draw your line the entire way across the coordinate plane. So you need to extend it the entire way across this coordinate plane, and you have to have arrows on the end to show that it's a continuous line. All right, let's look at the next example. So we have 3x plus 2y equals 8. Same step 1. You have to solve this equation for y first. So you move your 3x, then you divide everything by 2. Your final answer for that equation should be y equals -3/2 x plus 4. Okay, so that's your equation. Now you have to make your table. Again, you choose your x values. Okay? These are chosen by you, so you should be using -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Then you have to plug each of those x values into your new equation and figure out what your y value is. Okay, so when you plug that in and use a calculator, you have a fraction of a -3/2, that's fine. Use your calculator. Remember that when you're typing in the -3/2, you have to wrap that in parentheses. So that should be parenthesis, -3 divided by 2 and close the parenthesis. Once you have those points, you're going to plot them. So -2, 7. -2 is left 2. +7 is up 7. So you plot each one of those points. Then you connect them, and you want to, again, draw the line the entire way to the edges of the graph. Right? Use a ruler when you're drawing these lines. They should be nice and straight. Okay, we are going to skip this next example. It's the same process as the other two, so you can read through it to graph it. But again, you solve for your equation, pick your x values, and plug them in. Okay. I'm going to look at these last two. So I'm going to graph the equation y equals -4. Okay. It's already solved for y. There's nothing you have to do there. So you make your chart. But if you look at your equation, it tells you that y equals -4. That simply means that no matter what x value you choose, y will always be -4. So your chart is nice and easy to make. Okay, you choose your x values, but it will always be -4. That's what your equation is telling you. So when you graph those lines, when you make those points, it's going to be a horizontal line every time. If it's y equals, you have a horizontal line. Then the next example we have graph the equation x equals 5. So in this case, all of your x values, you're told that they are 5, your y values are going to be different. So you end up with a vertical line.